I know this is a late review. I know that Kung Fu Panda 4 released last week, but better late than never, right? Kung Fu Panda is directed by Mike Mitchell and stars Jack Black, Aquafina, Viola Davis, and Dustin Hoffman. The story follows Po as he is tasked by Master Shifu to find another successor to be the Dragon Warrior. Meanwhile, the evil chameleon, a powerful sorceress that can shapeshift into anything she wants, desires to rule the entire world, and it's up to Po to stop her. I really like the first three Kung Fu Panda movies. I think that Jack Black as Po is a really fun presence in these movies. I think that they have all great action sequences. They're really exciting. They're actually fun for kids and adults to enjoy. And all three of them, I think, are really good. They're really fun, entertaining movies. I think that Dreamworks is really an underrated studio compared to Disney, Pixar. I think sometimes they make really good animated films like Shrek and How to Train Your Dragon and Kung Fu Panda films. I think they're really solid. They're really a solid studio. I think my favorite of the series is probably number 2. I think the second one is the strongest. Now, going into Kung Fu Panda 4, I was really wondering if this was going to feel a bit forced, or if there was really a reason behind this fourth installment, because number 3 sort of wrapped things up pretty nicely. So it sometimes a fourth installment is warranted, but other times it just feels like it's a cheap cash grab. Here, I actually think that this movie is okay. It's all right. It's not great. It's not terrible. But for kids, I think it's a nice movie for them to enjoy. I don't think that this one is actually for adults as much as the others were. But I think that this can really work for kids. The animation here is stellar, just like the other three. The imagery, the visuals, the characters, everything is animated really well. It's just really a nice visual feast for the eyes. I think that this movie really impressed me with the visuals. I saw this movie in 3D. I hate 3D. It cost me like almost $20 for just a normal screen with 3D glasses on. I'm really am done with 3D, but I felt like this movie was really nice to look at. It was just superbly well animated. The characters here were perfectly enjoyable too. Jack Black, like I said, he's always enjoyable as Po, and here he's really just a strong presence to Aquafina. Aquafina is a new character. She's like this fox that likes to steal. She's she's just a street robber, and she is really good here as well. Sometimes Aquafina can get on my nerves as she tries to be funny and sometimes doesn't hit it all that much. But I thought that here her character worked with Po. I thought they had good chemistry together, and I liked the adventure that they were going on. I thought that it was cute. But I did not like the character of Chameleon. I love Viola Davis. I think she's wonderful. But sometimes it does feel like they are taking big name actors to just voice cast these characters, and you could perfectly have just gotten voice actors instead. Here it sort of feels like this because I just really didn't hear Viola Davis's voice all that much. I didn't like picture Viola Davis as the chameleon, and I don't think that they did much with the character of the chameleon. She can like shapeshift into anything that she wants, but there's very minimal death given to her. Like maybe a flashback, a 5 minute flashback could have done wonders for the character. It really could have. I think this is probably the weakest villain in the Kung Fu Panda series so far. Just preferred. Dustin Hoffman is always great as Master Shifu. He wants Po to find a replacement as a Dragon Warrior. Now, I don't know if I like that storyline because, like, he didn't really give a reason why. It's just like, oh, you just have to find a Dragon Warrior replacement because it was sort of really weird. Like, it wasn't because Po wasn't getting old, because Po is relatively young. I just didn't hear a reason why he had to pick another Dragon Warrior to replace him. It just felt weird to me. It's almost like in Star Wars if a Jedi had to find a replacement to replace him. But then again, why would he? He could be a Jedi until the day he dies, right? Like, Po can't be a Dragon Warrior until the day he dies. It just didn't make any sense to me, because it wasn't really explained. But I did enjoy how this movie sort of wrapped up. I did like that. Most of the action scenes here were well made. I thought that some of them were exciting, and I actually really enjoyed Po's two dads here. They go on the adventure with Po in this movie, and I really enjoyed their presence. I thought they had funny lines, they had good chemistry with one another, and I think they're just really good characters. Just felt here like the screenplay wasn't as good as the other three. It just felt as if they had somewhat trouble thinking about a good script here, a good story for this film. It felt kind of like, when you're watching a TV show and there's a filler episode. This felt like a filler episode. Filler episodes to me aren't necessarily a bad thing if you enjoy the characters. So I enjoyed the Kung Fu Panda characters and didn't really bother me that it was a filler episode. But it is what it is. I thought it was just okay at best. It wasn't great, but for children, I think it's a great movie for kids. I didn't think that the ending fight as well was better than all of the previous fights in Kung Fu Panda series. I thought it was just okay. It was okay. But then again, I enjoyed myself. I didn't walk out hating this movie. I thought it was alright. It had a great animation, a few jokes that here and there that did land. Some didn't, but some did. And it had good characters. And also, I really missed the core cast, which were largely absent for this movie. The core cast of the characters in Kung Fu Panda, the supporting characters, they were all absent. So I really miss them. I think that all get used to these people as Kung Fu Panda's friends, and they are just absent here in this movie. It's almost like if you did like Toy Story with just Woody and Buzz, but you didn't include the supporting cast. It works, sort of, but it loses something. It loses all the other characters in there. But I really enjoyed the chemistry between Aquafina and Po. So there you have it. There's my review of Kung Fu Panda 4. I think it's okay. It's I would probably give it like a C+. I think it's much more enjoyable for kids. I think you can take your kids fine to this, and then they'll have a good time. So let me know what you think about Kung Fu Panda down in the comments below. See you next time. Bye.
How should we do this? Quick and painless?
Yeah.
Or slow and painful?
Slow and painful.
You finally met your match, chameleon.
We're not so different, you and I.
Skadoosh. Stand back. I'm gonna kick my butt.
Seven Nation Army couldn't hold me back.